More on this, I'm joined by Colonel Allen West, who is a former member of Congress and a retired Army veteran. He is also the senior advisor for the Committee to Defend the President Super PAC. He joins us live now from Dallas, Texas. Allen, you've been pushing for Texas to reopen, but critics are saying that there should have been more time to assess what infections look like after the first phase. And in fact, Texas just set a record for the largest gain of cases over a 2-day period since the beginning of this outbreak. Is it too much too soon?
No, I don't think it's too much too soon. It's a pleasure to be with you. And when you talk about these new cases, to say that this is a cause of the, moving too fast too soon, that's really not a cause and an effect. But think about this. You just had your previous guest on, and they talked about the economic impact. Texas has the 10th largest economy in the world. 10% of Fortune 500 business corporations are located here. We also know what has happened with the oil and gas industry, where we saw it trading in a negative range for quite some time, and it still hasn't fully come back because of the gross impact of the demand. So we have gone over 10% unemployment here. We have 2.1 million Texans that are unemployed. And we are doing this over a virus that we know has a 99.6% recovery rate. So at some point in time, these elected officials have to understand that they don't have the enumerated power to tell the American people they cannot operate their businesses. Sure, everyone was willing to give them that 10 to 14 days to flatten the curve, but we have seen that happen. Here in Texas, we only had a 2% utilization of our hospital resources. Down in Harris County, which is Houston, they paid, I believe, $60 million for a tent makeshift hospital at the NRG Stadium. Did not see one person. So I think all the anecdotal evidence points to the fact that we need to get people back to work so that they can take care of themselves and not destroy this economy here in Texas and here in the United States of America.
That being said, Allen, a hair salon owner who you were familiar with was arrested for opening too soon. You can certainly make the argument that she has the freedom to reopen her business. But in America, we have the freedom to do a lot of things. I think it's becoming clear and apparent to our global audience that I'm not a natural blonde. I'd love to go back to the hair salon, but a lot of people are saying it doesn't mean that we should. I think Governor Cuomo's argument has been, if you want to get back to work, take what's considered an essential job. And that's what this argument has boiled down to, is weighing the economic pain that we have seen, particularly today when we look at those unemployment numbers, but also the health aspect of all of this in protecting each other in this pandemic.
Well, when you talk about the health aspect, I will give you an example. In Montgomery County here in Texas, just north of Houston, they have had more suicides than they have had deaths from COVID-19. And again, I don't think the elected officials have the enumerated power, the right to be able to determine and decide who and what is essential in the United States of America. And Shelley Luther, someone that I know very well, and I will be with her tomorrow at a rally here in Dallas. She opened her business and she took all of the risk mitigation procedures and processes outlined by the CDC guidelines. And also, you know that their industry is very well regulated as far as sanitation. And so if someone does not want to go to that business, that's their right to do it as well. But I think that we cannot, start to look at people and decide who are the winners and the losers and, destroy people's livelihoods. There are some small businesses, as your previous guest said, they may not ever recover. They may not ever come back. You were talking about their life savings and their livelihood.
And you make a fair amount of good points there, Allen. On a
Well,
totally different topic, I just want to switch gears completely for a second. We have seen growing backlash over the Department of Justice's decision to drop the Flynn case. Given the political times that we're in, are you surprised by this, the fact that people are saying that this isn't a legal decision, it's a political one?
I think that is absolutely horrible. I know Lieutenant General Flynn personally, and I can tell you that his life was ruined. And if anyone wants to debate the fact that Lieutenant General Flynn was targeted, we know about those handwritten notes that have been uncovered. And the fact that this was happening at the highest levels of the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the highest levels of the Department of Justice, we cannot have this occurring. This was a political attack against a campaign that had duly won the presidency of the United States of America. And think about that. Here is a 30-year veteran of the United States military, a retired three-star general. And for him to be targeted, for his life to be ruined, that's unconscionable.
All right. Allen West, really appreciate you coming on to give us your perspective on all that. Thanks for that.
Thank you.